Good evening, or good morning, or good day, my dear fellow book lovers and junk journalers and other curious folks. It is late here at night. Unfortunately, I'm having some hand trouble, and one of the solutions, if you know, is steroids, and they make it difficult to sleep, but they also make your hands feel better. So I thought, why not come on here and have a quiet video while the house is very quiet and show you some of the really cool books that I got recently at our local library. So I'm so lucky to live in a big city, so we have tons and tons of different libraries, and a lot of them have friends of the library book sales, and you can go and just see what they have from time to time. I got super lucky this particular day and found some really cool ones, so I will show you. Let's start with Good Helen here. I'm going to move these. Give me 1 second. If you stay to the end, I have a little surprise. I'm going to read you guys a poem, a late poem, if you happen to be watching this late at night. So this is Helen and the Find Out Club, and I just thought, we'll take away my friend here for a minute. My other friend. I thought she was just a cutie. Look at how pretty she is. Can you see? And there's a sticker, of course. We need to have words of love with sticker putters. Like, I know they don't want you stealing them, and I get that, but it hurts. But I found this little scrap because I always have scraps lying around, and I thought, well, that will go perfectly there, so I'm just going to leave that there. When you open it up, I don't know if you can see, but the end papers even have a design on them. Beautiful paper. It doesn't smell too funky. It says, "It's a Sleeping Beauty," and I'm not sure what they're looking at. Hopefully it's not something horrifying. Helen and the Find Out Club, The Adventure with the Girl Across the Street. I'm actually going to read this one before I do anything to it or decide. I thought I was just going to take it apart and lovingly really, like, look at the illustrations. Who says girls can't keep secrets? Amen. I love that. Let's look at that picture. Oh, I love. So I'm going to look through it and decide. I may decide to keep this. I'm also a writer, and so sometimes I have writing projects and I need to know something about certain time periods, so sometimes I'll actually, read books from that time period, do research, all the things. Otherwise, this will turn into a gorgeous red journal celebrating Helen. And I love, oh please, I don't want to make a mistake, because there's two Caroline. There's Caroline on the hillside, and there might be another Caroline, but I will link her, or at least mention her name in the description. I'm still learning how to link and all those things. And she makes the most gorgeous story book. So she'll think who Helen was, and she'll put what Helen would put in here and all that sort of thing. Cindy at Studio Lou does the same sort of thing, where she takes something and really uses the cover to design a story and an idea. So that's a beautiful one, and I'm excited to read it as well. I grew up reading everything I could at my public library. Most of it was stuff that was quite old, actually, but so anyway, love to read. That one, gorgeous. The next thing I found, I picked it up and I thought, oh, I'm going to use this as my Edgar Allan Poe, massive, cool, sort of spooky season journal, because it's just so yummy. I never really got into Poe that much, except in high school we read The Telltale Heart, and that story has stuck with me forever. I did watch the Netflix series, it wasn't Netflix anyway, Fall of the House of Usher, which is just for adults, by the way, but they did such a good job with The Telltale Heart, with all of it. It's brutal, it's definitely mature TV, but loved it. So I've always loved Poe. And then I secular homeschool, and we were reading the book scavenger books, which are a fun set of books, and they go through different writers. And one of the writers they talked about was Poe, and they talked about his Goldbug story, which is a very problematic story, and how they talk about relationships between black and white people. But it was really cool because there's a Toni Morrison book, Playing in the Dark, and she actually talks about that story and does a cultural and critique of it, and a writing critique. And so as part of our schooling, we talked about those issues, and it was a really cool thing to put it all together. So now I've got this deep love for Poe, and I realize that his stories are often about justice. People don't usually get away with stuff, and that's a nice thing to think about right now. So I got it to make a journal, but as I was looking through it, I mean, it's yummy and it's in good quality. Again, it doesn't smell funny because sometimes, you know, you get a book that's a little old. It's got a lot in here. This was published, so first it's got his publishing dates, like Tamerlane, Other Poems, first published 1827. Arthur Gordon Pym, 1838. Tales of Grotesque, 1839. The Raven and Other Poems, first published 1845. This edition published 1984. And it's just yummy, and I think I'm just gonna keep it on my shelf as my Poe book, if you will, because I have a Poe, like a modern classics, beautiful, great paperback book, but I think I'm gonna keep that. I haven't decided. Tell me what you think. I don't know. It wants me to keep it and read it, I think. But yummy, and all these books, I think the only book I paid more than $1.50 for, or maybe $2 was this book. It was $6, and it's in really good shape, so I don't mind doing that. I live in a big city. Maybe if you live in smaller cities, you don't have to pay quite as much. The next find, I probably squealed. I don't know who had these and why, in a, you know, Texas suburb, but these are an Enid Blyton set of Mallory Towers books. Now, Enid Blyton is a huge author in the UK. And there's such a story behind these books for me. So we have first term at Mallory Towers. It's about a boarding school. Second term, third term, upper fourth, and the fifth. And I think I did not have the sixth one. I've read the sixth one. Of course, I've read the sixth one. But they did not have the sixth one in this set. Still in love. When I was 11-ish, 12, 13, I lived overseas, and we spent in a kind of difficult place, and so then we went out to the UK and we spent a summer to get healthcare and all those kind of things. And there was a small town library, and you could get 7 books at a time. And I would go and get all the books, like all the 7 books, read them, and then take them back and read more, because there weren't a lot of English books where we were, and I love to read. These were my favorite. A lot of the, some other kids I knew whose parents worked overseas got to go to boarding school, and boarding school was my dream. I thought it'd be so great. And these books, they have a swimming pool, y'all, that is the rocks at the edge of the ocean. So when the tide comes in, it fills up the pool. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes. And then it like drains out, and it's like so cold, and like it's this whole thing. And I was just flipping through these. I haven't read them in so long, and I was like, oh, yep, there's Sally sitting on the grass alone. And Daryl is the main character, Alicia in trouble. And it's just funny, as I went through them, like there was one, she ran right into Mademoiselle. I don't know if I can find it, but they get into all these scrapes, and oh, yep, Mademoiselle Dupont puts things right. This is unbelievable. I remember all this. I have my own set, a paperback copy that I read. Oh, the chalk, I'm pretty sure they put chalk on his stool so that said something when he stood up. I don't remember what it said. So again, I got these thinking, I was going to do morning pages with them. So pull out the pages, put in some just easy paper, and these would be my morning pages books where I could just write my 3 pages and be done and put them on the shelf. That is the plan for them for now. So I think I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to remember. Enid Blyton is just eponymous in the UK. They're everywhere. I can get more copies eventually. Whew, so I don't know. But that is the hope. So let's see if I can make myself do it, because these covers are yummy. And how nice of a morning journal would that be to open it up for morning pages and see something that's so special to me. The next book I got, see if I can not knock anything over, is 21 Texas Short Stories. So I do live in Texas. I'm a writer. Like I said, and Texas is a very complicated place with a lot to atone for and a lot to share. So I was very interested in this book, actually, just to read. I love a university press book because I feel like they sometimes will take a risk on something that's very important and interesting, but maybe not other people wouldn't do it. So this was $1.95 when it was published in 1967. And what I thought was cool about this when I just, because I was at the library with my kiddo doing a quick scan of what they had, I noticed that first I was looking at just for the women: Margaret Cousins, Catherine Ann Porter, Mary King O'Donnell, Sylvia Karchmer. I hadn't heard of her. So I was like, ooh, there's women. I'm gonna read it. And then I looked again. I was like, wait a minute. O. Henry? What? So I had to look at the history. Apparently he moved. That's fine. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. 26. If you don't know O. Henry, The Gift of the Magi, of course, we read in high school again, where the couple make decisions that are both loving and heartbreaking at the same time. But it really affected me as a writer. I love thinking about stories where choices are so difficult and so complicated. It says he was born in North Carolina, but then in 1882, threatened with consumption, he came to Texas, and he later ran wild on the prairies. He lived on a ranch, operated with famous Captain Red Hall of the Texas Rangers, became a model for a number of O. Henry's lifelike portraits of. So I have to look at this. I'm having this moment of like, is this really the same O. Henry, right? O. Henry's New York stories. It's in the Rolling Stones. It's funny that it doesn't say that story, The Gift of the Magi. So I'm going to have to do some more research, and I will get back to you guys. I'm not sure how I'll get back to you guys to tell you randomly one day, hey, this is the right O. Henry. So I'm excited to read that, and I do love that cover, so I might take out some problematic stories if I feel like it and make it into a little journal, because I like that image. It's pretty. We have just a couple left, because it is late. Another kind of creepy time book, The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and this book was published sorry, forget my fingers. Does it say? It does not say. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. But I got it because it's sort of a simple copy. Like, it's not the most fancy copy ever, but I love the front cover. I think the spine looks nice. It's in great condition, and this is going to become a journal for someone who, so I can't say who yet. I probably shouldn't even shown it, but I just thought it was such a yummy cover. You guys get a kick out of that. And this one was fun. Oh, Carl the Clown, you are something. I'm going to see if you can see it without the glare. Words to Know. I really like this one. I'm just going to use it for pages for junk journals. It's copyright 1989, and it's a picture dictionary. So it's just got, there we got our clowns again. Apparently it's clown time. We actually like clowns in our family. Well, cute ones, cute clowns. Wow, Carl is, I did not notice that Carl the Clown was olive C. That is hilarious. One thing I did like about this book is it actually has kids who are not all white, which I appreciate, because in kids' books before a certain era, it can be hard to find that, and I don't want to unconsciously make journals that are only white children. That really bothers me. So there you are. So that's really cool. I really like this book. I'll be using all the pages up. Maybe making some, oh dear, Uncle Victor. This is when the writer in me comes out. I'm like, who is Uncle Victor? He is dapper with that umbrella. What is Uncle Victor up to? Oh, he opens his umbrella. Now he's under it. I don't have to use it anymore. But then that's not Victor at the grocery store, is it? Are we just done with Victor? Or is that Victor? Ooh, a friend came to visit Uncle Victor. I know about that. A friend, that's what we'll call it. Wonderful. I love the representation that is coded in books. If you know where to look, we have always been here. So, just a really cool book. And my last one, again, I got this one, not because of the cover particularly, although I know people like to make glue book covers over this, and it's kind of these kind of books. This one's a biggie. She is, I can't even read from here. It's doing the about 11 by 8.5. So she's like a piece of notebook paper. And, well, a very fancy notebook paper. This is a gourmet quick and easy recipes. Look at that. I'm sorry, I love pineapple and I love cake, but may the two stay away from each other. So, oh, look at that though. Maybe this does have to become a glue book. I was just gonna use the pages because I love, it's that sort of Better Homes and Gardens. Look at that. I grew, to finish my sentence. The Better Homes and Gardens kind of font from that time period. I think this is the 60s or 70s. 68. Love it. I grew up very much with a household that used the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. My family loved, dad and mother loved Julia Child on PBS, like her being with her, oh, don't you know? Anyway, we loved it. So this is very evocative to me of that experience, watching her on TV. Of course, it was in black and white at our house when they watched her. And to this day, I'm not sure if she was in black and white all the time or not, because we had a black and white TV for a long time. We were not a TV family. We were not allowed to watch TV much at all. We got our first color TV. Was it color? We got our first TV, I think, for the 1984 Olympics. I remember watching some of that sitting on the floor with my family. It was very exciting. So anyway, a little more about me than maybe you wanted to know, but we all have interesting lives, and I can't lie, part of YouTube for me and connecting like this is to hear about other people and how they grew up and how they are now. So this will probably be, the pages definitely, the chickens, this will definitely be to use in, like I'll take a page out. I won't traumatize you right now by ripping it out, and I'll fold it and it'll be a page in junk journal. But I feel like my friend from India would look at that and be like, that is not a proper shrimp curry. I think I might make this into some kind of glue book, because this, I love the 50-year guarantee. This paper is, it's wild. I like it. So that is all for this haul. I want to read you a quick poem, because in my house right now, like I said, it is late. It's very late. And as I was thinking of making this video, I thought, I had the lines of this poem going through my head. I'm lucky enough in Houston, we have something called Imprint, and you actually can watch it virtually, I think, with certain tickets, where they have wonderful authors and poets who come and speak and read parts of their book. It's great. So I actually got to see Margaret Atwood virtually. I can't remember if we were still in lockdown or not. And she read to us, and she talked about her process, and it was just delightful. And I know she's Canadian, so yay for Canada. She is a Canadian treasure. She's a world treasure. But what I was going to say about this is I actually listened to this on audio when I can't sleep and I'm upstairs, and I know, which is where I'm heading next, I know that I need to be at least laying down with my eyes closed. So I listened to her, and so I'm not her voice, but I thought you might get a kick out of this poem. It's called Late Poems. It's the first one in the book. This, published 2020, so we must have been in lockdown when we listened to her, and it was such a balm for the soul to listen to her talk. And we got to see her office too, which was very, very cool. And I'll put the Imprint organization down in the comments as well. So, late poems. Now I will say before I start, at the beginning of the poem, I feel like she says some poems are just too late and that it's not worth it, which I don't agree with. I feel like poetry for me especially has, like, sometimes poems like just get you through that next moment, and the person who wrote them is long gone or had no idea that you were going to read it. But I love the turn in the poem to me is when she says, but it doesn't matter if it's too late, go on, do it. So I'm going to read this to you and then wish you good evening. Late poems. These are the late poems. Most poems are late, of course, too late, like a letter sent by a sailor that arrives after he's drowned. Too late to be of help, such letters, and late poems are similar. They arrive as through water. Whatever it was has happened. The battle, the sunny day, the moonlit slipping into lust, the farewell kiss, the poem washes ashore like flotsam. Or late, as in late for supper, all the words cold or eaten, scoundrel, plight, and vanquished, or linger, bide a while, forsaken, wept, forlorn, love and joy, even thrice gnawed songs, rusted spells, worn choruses. It's late. It's very late. Too late for dancing. Still, sing what you can. Turn up the light. Sing on. Sing on. So, good night, my friends. Whatever it is that you need to keep singing on, I hope you will, and take good care. Much love.